Hey y'all, so it's RJ here, and you are watching and listening to Real Talk with RJ. I went to do a checkup appointment with my doctor, Saturday, yes. And my uric acid, because I have to do blood work every few months because I'm diabetic, the uric acid in my bloodstream was pretty high. Higher than normal. And I told my doctor, I'm like, well, I drink a ton of water. I take all these supplements that are supposed to help, flush out the system and help with fluid retention and all of that. And she's like, well, she said meat affects the uric acid because, I said, oh, red meat? Because I knew that red meat can really irritate the uric acid, and she said not just red meat. She said meat in general has amino acids that when they break down in your system they can raise your uric acid. So she suggested that I do split my week, like half of my week eat meat and the other half of the week be a vegetarian. This is not easy because if any of y'all have watched any of my videos, especially the ones where I'm cooking, okay, you know that I love me some meat, some chicken especially. I like bacon and all that kind of stuff. But she's like, look, some people, their systems, each of us are different. Each of our chemical makeup in our body is different. We're all not going to react the same way to certain foods or certain supplements or certain medications. We're all going to respond differently, so you kind of have to find what works for you. And she's like, you've been trying everything that you can. I drink close to a gallon of water every day, and I take these supplements. I don't cook with salt. I have a very low sodium, low fat, low no sugar kind of diet. And but I do eat meat every day. So she suggested that I go half the week with eating meat, the other half vegetarian. So I decided that that I would do 4 and 3. So 4 days vegetarian, 3 days carnivore. Sunday, Monday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday will be my vegetarian days, and then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday will be my carnivorous days, okay? So I had to think of some things to cook, like, for my lunches for work, because that's the other thing. I mean, when you're trying to really, watch everything that you're eating and everything that goes into your food, and you have to cook it. I mean, or either that or hire a chef that's also a nutritionist and sit there and watch them cook it and make sure they don't add stuff they're not supposed to add. I mean, those are really your only options. Because anything else that you get, like a can of soup or a TV dinner, have you ever seen the sodium content in those things? It can't work. And then I can't eat out. Because a lot of these places you go, minus maybe Subway, places where I can literally see, okay, it's just bread, it's just veggies, it's just this, kind of meat, whatever. Other than places in Subway and Wawa, or just ordering nothing but a plain vegetable salad with an oil and vinegar dressing. That's all I can do for eating out. It sucks to have health issues, but I've kind of taught myself how to make things very healthy, but to make them taste really good. Because that's one thing that has always bothered me about eating right and eating healthy and cutting out all these different things that aren't good for you, is the taste goes down. To me, over the years, it always tasted like cardboard. And I was just like, bleh. I'd rather have the good stuff that has all the fat and nastiness added to it because it tastes better. But I've had to learn how to train myself to do it differently and to make it taste good. So I'm going to try to flip around my camera So I'm going to show you kind of what I made, and you'll hear my voice in the background describing it as I show it to you. I'm going to try. Maybe. Okay, that didn't work. Alright, so I'm going to have to push pause and then flip it around. Alright, so I'm back here now. You have to excuse the mess because I've kind of been cooking a lot of stuff. So let me first start with what I'm going to do for my breakfast. Actually, let me get it out of the fridge here. Part of it at least. Okay. Alright, so yeah, those are all like the spices. Like, my kitchen is a mess, y'all. I'm so sorry. I live in a little apartment. I have a very small kitchen and like hardly any cabinet space or counter space, so stuff just has to sit everywhere. Alright, so breakfast is going to begin with Glucerna Carb Steady Vanilla Protein Diabetic Shake. And then it's going to continue with, this is a bowl of 3/4 cup of plain non-fat Greek yogurt, and I sweetened it with a touch of raw organic agave syrup, which is low in sugar. Let me show you it. This is the one I got in the raw organic agave. And I just put, I mean, literally not even a teaspoon in there. Just a touch of it. Because it's really sweet. It goes a long way. It's kind of like honey. You don't need much of it. And then I mix that together. Then I have on the top some sliced apples. Because as a diabetic, apples is about the only fruit I can eat. Because the fructose in the apple actually helps to stabilize blood sugar. So that's a fun fact for you. And then kind of underneath it, you see that crunchy stuff. That is Ancient Grain, gluten-free, all-organic granola. And it's all complex carb. The granola is made from like grains, whole grains, and beans. And it's sweetened just ever so slightly. This granola comes pre-sweetened with just raw honey. And it's very low in sugar. So that's the second part to breakfast. So the yogurt, granola, the protein shake, and then I also do, let's see if I can grab it. I should have had all this prepared for you. My bad. I try to do vegetables with every meal. So I've got a low sodium V8 original veggie juice. And this 1 can is 1 full serving of vegetables. So, pardon the mess, but there is my breakfast. Protein shake, non-fat, plain Greek yogurt, slightly sweetened with raw agave syrup, topped with sliced apples. I think 4 wedges, 4 pieces of apples, chunked up, with an Ancient Grain gluten-free, low sugar granola, and then a low sodium V8 veggie juice. That is breakfast. Alright, now that's breakfast on carnivorous day or vegetarian day. It doesn't matter. That's just breakfast in general, regardless. So every lunch, all my lunches I made for the week are all going to be vegetarian, whether I'm on a carnivorous day or not. Now, I made some portobello mushroom, fire roasted bell pepper, onion, fajita mix stuff. So I've got it in my bowl here ready. That's my 1 serving. It's basically got chopped up portobello mushroom, which portobello mushroom has a very meaty texture to it, and it soaks up the flavor of whatever you put on it. And then I've also got, you know, a little garlic powder. I put some steak seasoning in there to give it kind of a meaty taste. A little bit of olive oil to cook the vegetables in, and then the kind of cream sauce you see is basically just a little bit of ranch dressing, just a touch, not very much of all, maybe like 1 or 2 tablespoons. And so I've already portioned out one, and you can see I've kind of divided it up into 4. So those are going to be the other 4 days. And then that will go in. There's some cheese to go on my, I'm kind of making like a meatless fajita, basically. And here's the whole wheat, whole grain tortilla. This is for an extra snack, the little Baby Bell cheese. And then this cheese is going to get melted and go on the fajita. And then I'm also going to, kind of hard to see, but take with me a salad mix, just to have a salad on the side. And I've got a low sugar, no fat raspberry vinaigrette dressing to go on that salad. So that's going to be lunch. The fajita mix in the fajita shell with a little cheese, and then a salad on the side with that dressing. Now my snacks in between breakfast and lunch and dinner is going to be this organic chia bar, almonds, cranberries, and pumpkin seeds. And chia is supposed to be really good for you. It helps to fill you up, and it also helps to keep you regular, if you know what I'm saying. And all of this stuff here, I got most of it at Trader Joe's because I was looking for an affordable organic alternative. And Whole Foods is ridiculous with their pricing. So that's why I went with Trader Joe's. I almost spent basically as much as I would spend at Walmart, but everything is truly farm to table organic. Now, the other thing that will go with my lunch is 2 hard-boiled eggs, because I'm not eating any meat with my lunches, and I got more boiled eggs in here. So I have 2 of those. Then, for my 3 carnivorous days for dinner, I seared off and got a nice color on. This is chicken sausage with, it's sun-dried tomato basil chicken sausage. And then over here, I've got 6 pieces of chicken breast tenderloin that I baked in the oven. I drizzled it with olive oil and kind of rubbed that in. And then on the seasoning, I put a lemon pepper chicken seasoning and a little bit of garlic powder and rubbed that in. And then I drizzled balsamic vinegar on the top of the chicken and just kind of let it sit there for a second while the oven was preheating. And then I took some dried oregano and just put it right on the top, and it kind of created a little crust on the top of the chicken. And I tried one of them. They are delicious. So these 2 things, these 2 meats, chicken product, will go with my whole wheat, whole grain pasta and my organic marinara sauce and some organic sliced tomatoes, and I'll probably also have a nice salad with it. That will be on my carnivorous days. And then on my vegetarian dinner days, which will be tomorrow and Tuesday, yeah, on those days I'm going to make a portobello mushroom. Let me see if I can pull it out here for you. I got these portobello mushrooms. If you've ever cooked with these, you can actually make this taste like steak almost. Because again, it has a very meaty texture, and it'll take on the flavor of anything that you put on it. So I'm gonna pan cook it with some olive oil drizzle on it, a little balsamic glaze on it, and some steak seasoning, and just sear it real good in the pan. And then I'm gonna make a zucchini and not zucchini, asparagus and bell pepper and onion kind of side dish hash thing. And then on the other day, that'll be for dinner 1 for a vegetarian or a halfway vegetarian. And then on the other day, I've got 3 beautiful organic red bell peppers here. I'm gonna make stuffed red bell peppers, and normally you stuff them with, sorry for coming down low like that, but normally you stuff bell peppers with like ground meat and rice and like tomato sauce. Well, I'm not gonna do mine like that. I'm gonna stuff mine with a riced cauliflower. So have you seen that, where they take cauliflower and they cut it and cook it in such a way that it looks like and has the texture of rice? So I'm gonna stuff it with that, and I'm gonna mix the rice with some organic sun-dried tomatoes, and then I'm gonna drizzle balsamic vinegar over the top, and I'm also gonna rub the bell peppers in olive oil on the outside, and then put maybe a little bit of Parmesan cheese on the top, and then bake it in the oven, and maybe have like a little salad on the side. So those will be my 2 remaining vegetarian dinners. This chicken sausage and chicken tenderloins will go with my whole wheat pasta dinners that I'm gonna eat on my carnivorous days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then I think that's it. So I think next week I'm gonna make a vegetarian soup that's basically like a tomato juice based soup with just a bunch of really vitamin rich vegetables. And then I'll probably do the same thing or something similar. Maybe I might do some ground turkey meat or like turkey frozen meatballs or something to go with my pasta. And then I'll think of something else for my vegetarian, because I know I'm gonna miss the meat. So I'm trying to make things that have a meaty texture and a meaty taste, so I won't miss it too much. But anyway, I'm gonna come back to my myself here in a second. Just give me a second. So anyway, again, I look a mess. After I got back from church today, I basically took all the makeup off my face and slicked my hair back and got to town working on cooking all this food that I just showed you. So anyway, hopefully drinking a lot of water, changing up my diet to be half vegetarian, half carnivorous, and then still taking my supplements that help with fluid retention and things like that. I'm hoping and praying, fingers crossed, that that this will bring down my uric acid. And also my fasting glucose was a little high when I did my blood work. It was at 103, which is not good. You're supposed to be below 100 on your fasting glucose level. And part of that has been because I haven't been digesting the metformin, which I take for my diabetes. And I take metformin in the morning and in the evening. So I'm not digesting it overnight, so it's keeping my sugars kind of high. So I went back to my pharmacy, had them get me the medicine, because they had changed manufacturers of the metformin. And as soon as they changed it a few months ago, I noticed that I wasn't digesting it. So I had them go back, at least for my prescription, back to the manufacturer they were using before. So hopefully, now that I got the right manufacturer for my metformin, hopefully that'll start kicking in again, and I'll start, because the metformin was also helping me lose weight. It was helping me regulate my PCOS and everything. So hopefully now that I have the right manufacturer, that will start to kick in again. And then hopefully with my new way of eating, even more healthy than I had been. Okay, and I was already very, very healthy with my food. So even more so. Hopefully this will lower the uric acid. Hopefully also my glucose numbers will come down. Fingers crossed. Oh man, it's been tough. It was kind of a stressful day for me Saturday, because I know how hard I work to eat right. And you know, when other people are out having fun on the weekends and out having a good time or going out on dates, which I did go on a date recently, but it was a good date, but then he flaked out, so whatever. But anyway, instead of doing all that, I'm in the kitchen cooking. Okay, I'm getting it because I don't have time during the week to cook all this food. So when everybody else is out having a good time, going to the theme parks and hanging out with people, I'm here cooking all my food. But, I mean, yeah, it gets a little sad for me, but it's a sacrifice that I have to make and that I'm willing to make so that I can live a long time and that I can be healthy. So if you struggle with diabetes, PCOS, high uric acid levels, maybe you can try this out. And, I'll keep you posted. We'll be on this journey together. It's important to take care of ourselves. So, with that said, this has been the latest cooking edition episode of Real Talk with RJ. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. I hope you were encouraged. And let's do this together. Until next time, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and God bless you.